right. Well, you guys know how to show up on a Wednesday night. I'm so excited to be here with you. Myself and Danielle Ceballos are so excited to host you this evening. We are here to talk tonight how to design and get paid to deliver on a trust building offer that is going to remove all the friction from the market for you. Help you build a paid audience that absolutely loves to show up, spend time with you, give you their credit cards, and are ultimately going to become your ideal paid customers. So, first of all, I want to say a big welcome. I see that we have people here from all over the United States and also around the world. So, thank you all so much for being here live with us. We're so excited to be here. And before we dive in, just let me know in the chat. Are you one of our loyal friends that's been around the brand that comes to these sessions all the time? Maybe you're in one of the products or programs or services in one of my companies. You've been around for a while, or are you brand new to our world? Are you a new friend that just joined us for the very first time? If this is your very first time joining us, let me know. I see lots of people saying, I'm a groupie now, I'm in VBS. We have some brand new friends, 5+ years, VBS members, brand new. Okay, we have an amazing mix here tonight. This is so exciting. Well, big welcome to everyone. My name is Kelly Roach. I am the founder of the Virtual Business School. I run a portfolio of companies in the online world. Every single one of them is designed with one purpose in mind, which is to help entrepreneurs like you to build and grow successful, profitable 7 and 8 figure businesses while being able to put the things that go first in life first, like our faith and our family, and to create predictable, profitable businesses that allow us to make a difference for others, use our gifts to be of service, and make an impact in the world. So comment in the chat, yes, yes, if you know you're in the right place. Comment, yes, yes, if you know you're in the right place. And for those of you that don't know Danielle, Danielle is my partner in crime. She's my sidekick. Usually where you see me, you'll also see Danielle. Danielle helped me take my first company from 7 to 8 figures. And then I actually asked her to step out and help me build several of my other companies. And now she serves as the president of Kelly Roach International. And she kind of has her hands in all different things with all of the different businesses. But she is always on the cutting edge of what's happening from a marketing strategy standpoint. And her and I love to team up on these sessions because I've been teaching people how to create record-breaking sales for over 20 years. Danielle has a background in education and was a very high-level copywriter before coming into the online world. So her and I are kind of like peanut butter and jelly, the yin and the yang. We each bring a little special something. And what we love to do more than anything is help people like you build 7 and 8 figure businesses. So I hope you all feel like you're in the right place. I know we're very excited to be here. And just to give you a little bit of context for why we created this masterclass tonight on building a trust building offer and why it's named a trust building offer. We are in something right now that's called a trust recession. And we are in a trust recession because many consumers and many people buying in the online space have had the experience of making investments that haven't necessarily provided the return that they expected. And simultaneously, at the same time, as consumer confidence was dropping because people had some great and some not so great experiences being online consumers, we've gone through a very dramatic shift in global economics. Okay. So we went through this kind of boom period from about 2010 until 2021, 2022, where the online world was just exploding out of control. There was a lot of money being pumped into the economy. People had a lot of loose cash. There was a lot of free credit, and people were kind of spending like crazy. And sometimes when people are spending like crazy, they're also not the best steward of those investments. So a lot of people spent money on a lot of things that they didn't necessarily put in all the work to get a return from. So, it takes two to tango, right? People invested in some things that they didn't get a return from. People invested in some things that they didn't necessarily do the work to get a return from. None of that matters. What matters is to be a great entrepreneur and to become an industry leader and a world changer. And I want you to put that in the chat right now because I know that's all of you. Put world changer in the chat right now. I know that's every single person here. To be an industry leader and a world changer, the most important thing is you need to know when to adapt, you need to know when to innovate, and you need to be obsessed with the operating reality of your market. If you can nail those 3 things, you can be in the top 1% of any industry. And I know that because I did it. And I started from corporate. I worked for a Fortune 500. When I started in the online world, I had absolutely no network. I had no online presence because I never used social media for personal purposes. And I was starting from no one. I was starting from nowhere and I was nobody. And I went from a little, no one with no network, with no business, to building one of the first and only female led, self funded, bootstrapped, debt free 8-figure companies in the online space. And less than 1% of businesses do that. And the reason why we were able to do that is we locked in on those through three things. We identified when we needed to innovate. We knew when it was time to adapt a model. And I was obsessed with understanding the operating reality of the market that I was serving. Now, that helped me to create something called the live launch method. And I taught the live launch method for 7 years. And we taught over 100,000 people the live launch method to the point where we have a registered trademark for it. I wrote a book on it. It's now common terminology. Has anyone here heard of the live launch method? Comment live launch if you've heard of the live launch method before. We created that methodology. A lot of people don't even know that because we taught 100,000 people that taught 100,000 people that taught 100,000 people. And now millions of people know and use the word live launch. But guess what? We created that at a moment in time where we needed adaptation, innovation, and a new product to match the market, which is exactly what brings us to this masterclass here today. If you want to have hyper growth in your business in 2025, you need to understand that you will have to adapt, innovate, and match your market. Everybody get it? Write in the chat for me. Adapt, innovate, match your market. Right? Those three things in the chat. You get that, you can be in the 1%. You can absolutely blow the competition out of the water. You can create hyper growth in your business and you can make 2025 your best year. It does not matter what's going on in the economy because there's always people buying all day, every single day. You just know, you have to know how to tap into the buying patterns that are happening. And when I talk about tapping into the operating reality of the market, I always say it's about understanding zeitgeist. Zeitgeist is the conversation that is already happening in the minds of the people in your market. So for me, when I think about zeitgeist, and I'm going to plant this seed for all of you so that you can imagine what this might look like. I want you to imagine if you're a guy, it's a bunch of bros and they're having a card night and they're smoking cigars and they're playing cards and they're having a beer and they're all just talking about the common things that they're all dealing with and that they're all experiencing. And they're collectively kind of like complaining and joking about it. And they're like, yeah, I don't know what the F I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. And if you're a lady, maybe you're out with some girlfriends and you're taking a Pilates class and you're all like sweating and you're working out and you're like, hey, have you noticed, this and this going on? And then your girlfriend's like, yeah. And then your other girlfriend's like, yeah, me too. It's the conversation that's happening in everyone's head, but no one's really saying it out loud. Your ability to tap into that in your market is literally your secret weapon for life that will always give you a competitive edge over everyone else in your industry and space. Especially in a time like this where a lot of change is happening, most people are obsessing about their product, their company, their business, their needs. The people that are out there obsessively studying what their market is dealing with, the challenges that they're facing, and the conversation that's already running in their head, and then creating products to tap into that, they're the people that are absolutely just taking the market by storm right now. And that's what creating a trust building offer is all about. So I just want to pause for a quick second. And I'm going to ask you guys, comment in the chat, what's one takeaway that you got from what I shared so far? I just want to make sure that conceptually this is making sense for you. And Danielle, anything you want to add to that before we actually get into what a trust building offer is and why everyone needs one?
Yeah, I think the main thing that you need to keep in mind if you're going to adapt and innovate and understand the zeitgeist is that you have to be willing to let go of some of the things that may have been working before.
Yeah.
And I think where we see so much tension around these ideas is people are like, well, but this used to convert, or this used to be faster, or this used to be easier, or this whatever. And so you've got to be very, very willing that if the zeitgeist is changing and the conversation is changing and you want to lead, then you have to not what it means to match the market. It's not just to say, okay, market, well, I want you over here. Come on, join me. It's saying,
Yes.
okay, you're here. I may or may not like that. I may or may not think that's great, but I'm going to meet your needs where you are. And that comes with sometimes letting go of what used to work. And if I had $1 for every time a client we were talking about this was like, yeah, but I used to charge this and I used to do this and I used to, yes, we all used to do a lot of things that we don't do anymore. And that's just kind of how life goes. So,
Yeah.
as we're moving forward, you're going to have some resistance, I think, that comes up because you've probably been successful, used to doing the other things, and you got to
Yeah.
just be open-minded. Also,
Yeah,
I had to say that,
absolutely.
y'all. I
And
was
and
sitting,
what's
had
so
to.
interesting, I love that you shared that, Danielle. And what's so interesting about that is, everyone on planet Earth that is in the online space has noticed the huge amount of resistance that's come up, the slowdown in the sales cycle. All of those things are happening because people are more discerning with their money and they're a bit more educated as buyers. If you go and Google market maturity, there are things called market maturity models. Every industry, every market, every single space goes through a market maturity bell curve. And as any industry goes through a market maturity bell curve, once the market becomes more educated and people aren't buying their first product in the market anymore, the cycle is going to slow down because people are more discerning buyers because they're better educated. So they have a lot more filters that they're putting your brand and your business through before they're making a buying decision, which is why you have to adapt your strategy because they're looking through a different lens than they were before. And I think to your point, Danielle, I think that's a really important one. A lot of people are still either putting their head in the sand, trying to push through and just work harder doing the same thing that they were and not understanding why they can't get the needle to move in their business, or they're holding on to things that they're trying to sell people into that people don't even want right now, or they're not even seeing it as an urgent need. Okay. So when we think about a trust building offer, the objective of a trust building offer is to give your market a tangible, easy yes that they can get a result from within 30 days. I want you all to write that down. Easy, tangible yes, result that they can get in 30 days. So you're making it almost like complete no brainer for them to buy this thing. It's simple and easy. If you look at top buying trends, you can go Google this. What are the top buying trends in 2025? Convenience is at the absolute top of the list. Okay. I know for me, right? When I'm getting ready for an event, if I can buy 5 outfits from Revolve that has my credit card stored in it, versus having to go to 5 different websites, I will buy things from Revolve because of convenience, because of how much more time, effort, and energy it takes for me to plug in all of my information to start that process over again. Well, guess what? Me and everyone else in the world. How many of you comment Amazon if you're the person that has one-click buying in Amazon and is using that for like almost all of your shopping? I'm not even going to ask you, Danielle.
I
Danielle's the
know.
worst. Literally, the woman gets outfits delivered to our events. Okay.
Mhm.
But so you have to know that. You have to know that. So, what you have to think about is how do you create a trust building offer that is something that is going to be low price, significant value, okay, gets your ideal buyer to say yes right away, and allows you to then turn around and almost immediately pivot them into their next investment with you. Now, this is a dramatically different strategy than what has been taught in the online space when you've watched, listened, or seen anything about low ticket offers. And it's why, quite frankly, most low ticket offers end up costing the business more than they make the business.
Mhm.
Because when you design a low ticket offer that is primarily passive, that targets the people that can't afford your primary offers, what you get is a lot of default payments, people that don't complete the program, people that don't get a result, and cause a lot of customer service headaches, but never upsell into anything. Has anyone ever had that experience before? Comment heck yeah.
And I would add, what happens is many people, I just was on a call with them today, it feels like more work for no payoff
Yes,
because you don't realize you think it's just this little passive thing that is not a little passive thing.
exactly. Exactly. So, what we're going to do today, we're going to cover kind of 5 things with you today. And if someone could help me and put this in the chat, that would be amazing. We're going to cover the do's and don'ts of a trust building offer. Okay. We're going to talk about recommended price points. So you're going to leave with a recommended price point. We're going to talk about a bunch of different ideas for recommended formats for your trust building offer. We're going to talk about the 7 most important decisions that you need to make to create a trust building offer that's going to scale and upsell people into your high ticket offers. And we're going to talk about how to do a founding members launch. And if we have time at the end, depending on where we are and how quickly we can get through all of
It's a
this,
lot.
I know, I know. I was trying to pick and choose, but there's just so much I want to share with you all. If we don't get through it all tonight, I'll throw another live on the calendar in the next couple of days, because I do want to teach you all about how to do a founding members launch and actually get paid to design and deliver this. So we might have to come back and do a part 2 for that. That's okay. But we're going to go ahead and dive in right now. And I want to talk a little bit about the do's and don'ts of a successful trust building offer. So can you guys see my screen there? Give me a yes in the chat if you can see my screen. Yes? Okay, great. Okay, great. All right. So let's talk about some of the do's. First of all, a trust building offer's job is to attract your ideal best buyer customers and to give extraordinary value that creates trust within 30 days, opening up a conversation for an upsell. So understanding the mindset is the most important thing, because if you don't get this right, then it doesn't matter anything else that you do after this, because you're going to attract the wrong people and you're going to bring in the wrong customers. And if you bring in the wrong customers, they're never going to upsell into your other stuff. And now you just have a headache and not a trust building offer. So that's number 1. Number 2, you want there to be a massive gap between the price and the value. So you guys know the virtual business school is our trust building offer. People pay $59 a month for it. People get better results in our trust building offer than products that people charge $50,000 for. And I know this because members of our virtual business school that have invested in products that were $20,000, $30,000, and $50,000 have repeatedly told us this. Now, why do we do this? We do this for 2 reasons. Because 1, our focus and our goal is lifetime value. Because scale is based on customer retention, not customer acquisition. I want someone to put that in the chat for me. Scale is based on customer retention, not customer acquisition. If you can close a lot of customers, but you can't keep them, your business will never scale. That's what no one in the online space will ever tell you, because they've never actually scaled anything. Okay. Your satisfaction is always driven by expectations, and people's expectations many times are driven by price. So you need to really give them something that blows them away in 30 days or less. And what that does is it closes the trust gap. Someone put that in the chat for me. It closes the trust gap. It makes people immediately have respect for your brand, believe in the authority of what you're doing. And most importantly, star this, underline this, and put this in your note. It makes them open to investing again. Write it down. This is a completely different mindset. And let me tell you something. Some of our customers, and I think I saw a couple of them here right now, we've had people close 200, 300, 500 of these trust building sales within a month of starting these offers. This is how powerful this stuff is. We just recently had the experience of 3 people come into our trust building offer and then up level into our legacy leaders mastermind. Okay. So that's the power of this done right. It is always for your primary avatar. The number 1 mistake that people make, please don't do this, is they create a low ticket offer that's a downsell that is geared towards people that can't afford their primary product. That is, bar none, the worst business mistake that you can ever make, because they will not pay their bill, they will not do the work, and they will not upsell. And those are the 3 most important criteria. You want people to get great results in your product. That's how you build your brand. You want people to pay their bill, because otherwise there's no point in having a customer. And you want to grow lifetime value of every customer, which means you don't want them to just sit in your trust builder. You want them to grow through your ecosystem. So this is always going to be geared towards your primary offer. Point in case, many 7 and even 8-figure entrepreneurs are joining the virtual business school and they're putting their teams in it as well. It should always include some type of interface with your brand. Okay. A lot of people, when they teach lower ticket sales, they teach you to build a passive funnel and then to build automated sequences to run and manage the customers. And the problem with this is you may have success getting someone to buy something initially, but they won't stay and they won't upsell. And for a lot of people, they put these funnels in place. I know people personally that spent $50,000 hiring people to build them funnels, and they never acquired a single customer from it. And Danielle can tell you story after story after story of people that have come to our marketing agency after having that experience of investing tens of thousands of dollars of people that promised to build them a passive funnel. They never made sales from it. They never acquired customers from it. And it's because that model by and large does not work. And you have to be so skilled and have so much outside funding to make that work that the average entrepreneur is just not going to have success with it. I don't know what you want to add to that, Danielle.
Yeah, I was just going to add that there was a period of time where they were working, and even those people now, because of the changes with iOS and updates and things like that, their ad costs got so jacked up over the last few years that it's no longer profitable, but they're still running the same model.
Yeah.
So what used to be like remotely profitable on the front end with no real lifetime value, now it's not even profitable on the front end. So they're literally just pouring thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month. And, they're making seven figures, but spending 7.1 figures. And so
Yeah.
it's something that people really like to sell when they're selling you that model. But like Kelly said, to get something to work, is it impossible? No, but you will spend 50, 60 grand testing it, refining it, optimizing it. And then as soon as you get it, it's going to stop working because an algorithm's going to change. Something's not going to work anymore and you're going to have to fix it again. So whenever someone promises you passive, it's not passive. And it really defeats the purpose of everything we're talking about here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you want to make sure that there is some type of interface with the brand. We'll talk more about that. You are going to want to segment your customers that come in. That is another deep dive conversation. We teach that very in depth in virtual business school. And I see we have a lot of our virtual business school stars here. So I'm so excited to see all of our members of virtual business school. Thank you for being our hype squad. You guys are the most amazing clients in the world, and we love you so much. But you want to be selling this at a low price point. And the best way to describe how you should be pricing your trust building offer is that it's an impulse buy that belongs at the checkout line. That's how you know. It's like so obvious, it's ridiculous. Like it's so obvious what the value is that someone doesn't need to think any more than as they're walking through the checkout line, they're going to grab it, they're going to drop it, and they're going to go. That's how you know you have a trust building offer. What you don't want to do, what you absolutely positively, this one slide alone can save you countless hours, time, and money. You're welcome. I love you. Do not create a downsell for people who can't afford your stuff. The moment that you do that, you did the one fatal flaw that could take you out of business, which is you split your attention, energy, and focus into two different avatars. And that can just kill your business. And in this market, you cannot afford to be distracted. You have to be speaking to your one person. You need to know who your one person is. And what's so, so cool about your trust building offer that's so beautiful and perfect about it is you can always speak to your top best buyer ideal avatar, and you're going to get people all the way from beginning to end anyway. And because it's a trust building offer, you don't have to go through this heavy qualifying process. You don't have to do any calls. You don't even have to do live launches in order to bring people in. Okay. So you only speak to one avatar ever. And you want to make sure that the thing that you're creating, this is another huge mistake that I see people making all the time, which is that they create a product that has nothing to do with their other products. They'll be like, I'm going to create this trust builder offer. And it's like this thing. And I'm like, okay, great. How does that correlate with where you're leading people? Your trust building offer is just part of a circle. And that circle should lead people through your entire ecosystem, meaning that your trust building offer should be relevant for current customers, past customers, returning customers, people, if they don't renew into a high ticket, should be able to go back into kind of a maintenance mode in your trust builder until they're ready to upsell again. Okay. So you want to make sure that it is deeply attached and serves as what I would call, maybe someone can put this in the notes for me, as a springboard for whatever the next step in your ecosystem is. Do not deliver or design something that you're not excited to participate in, contribute to, or be a part of. I actually just did a post about this yesterday. We help people build 7 and 8 figure companies. We've done it over and over and over again. And I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt that if you attempt to scale something that you are not deeply passionate about, either you will scale it and you will sabotage it and it will blow up, or you will never scale it. But I
Mhm.
don't know of a single person who has been able to build and maintain something in a healthy way that they did not love, passionately, deeply love to be a part of. So please, for the love of all things, build something that is in alignment with your true calling, your gifts, the things that you want to spend your time and your energy invested in. Do not think of this as passive income. You should not think of this as passive income. Virtual business school is not passive in any way, shape, or form, and it's not designed to be. It was never the goal. It's never going to be the goal. It's more active than anything else we've ever built. And it's that way for a reason, and it's going to be that way. Okay. So you want something that is alive and well and is the heartbeat and is going to attract your dream customers. And you want to make sure that it is building the brand. And this is another reason why it's so important to make sure that you're building something that is connected to your other offerings, because it should be so obvious that people come into one and want to move to the other. And I gave the example earlier of how we've had multiple 7 figure leaders that quickly came into virtual business school, started making a lot of sales using the strategies that we teach, and immediately moved into legacy leaders. Actually, I see Sharice and Jennifer are already claiming it. They're naming it and claiming it right here tonight. And they said they're coming for legacy leaders next. They're two of our virtual business school leaders that are absolutely crushing it. So that's what we like to see. So that's what's so cool about a trust building offer for everyone here. People can leap from your trust building offer, spending less than $1,000, to your highest ticket offer. Why? Because they're getting results and they have trust in your brand. They're
Mhm.
getting results and they have trust in your brand. Anything you want to add to the do's and don'ts there, Danielle?
I just think it's so important to understand nothing is passive and all the internet gurus. And listen, like online marketing's like where it's my people and I love them and also can't stand them because it is so sexy. Like, listen, obviously, we all would love to believe we can do very little and get a big, big reward. Who doesn't love that story? Everybody does. The truth is, when you can get over the fact that that's not true and figure out, okay, well, how do I best serve the market anyway? You will outperform 99% of people who are still chasing passive and easy. You've already done the hard things, made the decisions, put the things in place, and now you're the only option. And so when you can get over that idea, you have to like just make peace with it. You're going to be able to serve people in a way that makes you the only option, which is a nice place to be in a harder, economy. It's a great place to be the
It's a
one who
great place.
is most trusted, who's seen as the leader, who everyone knows that they're going to get great support from because then you just become the natural yes. And doesn't everybody want that? Isn't that what we all want? It doesn't
Yeah.
come from just being famous everywhere and having lots of ads out. It comes from serving people exceptionally well, doing the things other people won't do in a non-passive way so that they trust you for the future. And
Yeah.
so if you can get on board with that, you're going to win no matter what's happening.
Yeah, and I mean, there's two perspectives in life, right? There's getting through it, and working and waiting to escape it, which, like, I'm not down for that. Or you can build a business that you love, and you can only build things that you love, and you can build something that you actually don't want to escape from because you enjoy it, you're invested in it, and you love to deliver it. And that's what creating a trust building offer is all about. And that's the kind of business that we help people to build. So, moving on to the recommended price point, I have it right here on the screen for you. So, I'm going to recommend that your trust building offer is between $500 and $1,000 for the total cost. I would love if they could get started between $49 and $100. Okay. And listen, you do you. Okay.
Mhm.
You do you. I say this all the time. I'm not interested in creating 1,000 mini me's. I'm interested in empowering you to think critically for yourself, to assess your market, to think about your preferences, and to take all that we're sharing, which are essentially principles, and take
Mhm.
those principles and apply them in a meaningful way to your business. But what I want to really present to you all today, and what I want you to think about, is that the hardest thing in the market that we're in today is the acquisition of a customer.
Mhm.
The goal of the trust building offer is to remove the hardest thing that will stand in the way of you creating hyper growth in your business, which is actually acquiring the customer. Once you acquire the customer, all bets are off. The dynamic of the whole relationship has changed because now you're in a relationship with this person. There is
Mhm.
a reason for you to be having a conversation with them. It gives you a paid opportunity to prove the authority, the excellence, and the impact of your brand. And it removes the number one thing that businesses are killing themselves to do right now, which is to acquire a damn customer. So this removes that obstacle completely. It makes it a no-brainer to get the customer. And now all you have to do is deliver on your promise, which I hope that's what we're all working to do all day, every single day anyway. And then you design and you deliver an upsell process that moves them through the ecosystem, which of course, by the way, yes, we teach all of that in virtual business school as well. And you guys that are in are already working on that, and you know. Okay. So I recommend that the price point be under $1,000 and that people are able to get started between 50 and 100. Because again, I want you to close your eyes and imagine you're at the checkout line. You grab a piece of gum. Do you check what the price is? Do you have to think about it? Do you need to call home and be like, hey, are you comfortable if I, grab this pack of gum? How do we feel? Do we need to have a sit down and meet about it as a family? No. Okay. That's your goal. Your goal is to do this hundreds of times over and over and over again so that you take time and you collapse something that would have taken you 6, 9 months, 9 months, 12 months, and you do it in 30 days. And it immediately opens you up to a conversation. And I'll give a great example of how this works. One of the things that we do and that we teach is that right on the thank you page, when people join virtual business school, they're immediately invited to their first upsell, which is $997. So someone may have spent $49 or $59 to make that first purchase with us. And then we have people immediately that upsell into the 997. So we have people passively self-selecting that they would like to accelerate their progress, that they would like to get even bigger results faster and want to take that next step. So we're not talking about an upsell process that takes you 6 months or a year. We're talking about an upsell process that moves within minutes from them making that first investment to them making that second investment. And it's far easier for you to grow quickly when you go little yes, medium yes, big yes. A lot easier. It's a lot easier for people psychologically. It's a lot easier for you. Anything you want to add to that, Danielle?
Yeah, I would say that we don't teach you the traditional way of doing that, though. That sounds like, if you've been in this online world, that sounds like, oh yeah, that's just an upsell and all that stuff. When we share like, hey, they're making that purchase, that's like a one-time thing. We are not going to just put that in front of someone one time. We have real people inside our virtual
Yep.
business school who work full-time, who are having regular
Yep.
conversations with members, offering it at the right time. We host sessions where we're teaching something extra, and we'll pitch that offer again. So this is not some like quick trick them into buying all these things when they're buying process. It's, hey, we have this offer. We're putting it in front of you. Some people take advantage of it right then. They're just
Yep.
fast action takers. Most are not, but they do buy it eventually when it's the right time. So maybe they've gone through a module and they're reaching out and they're on a live session with us and we talk about it, then they buy again. So I really want to make it clear, this is not the traditional bro funnel where you have
No,
17 upsells of like PDFs for life. That's not
no.
what we're talking about. All of these things are initial sale into VBS. is a membership that's $59 a month, no contract. If you're not in it, you should get in it. That's not the whole point of today, but you should definitely get in it. We have full-time team members, full-time people whose job it is to regularly engage with our members. And so
Mhm.
that's an opportunity every week to make upsells there. And then we're also doing more structured upsell processes, which again, like that's something we teach inside of some of our programs, but it's not just this quick,
Yeah,
click, 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 and somebody's giving us $10,000. That's not how it works. So I do want to make sure that everyone understands we are promoting high relational value in what you are doing on the front end. We want you to have lots of engagement, lots of interaction with the people buying that front end offer.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the whole point. Again, I conceptualize the name trust building offer for the specific purpose of helping you to understand that this is a relationship driven market. And even when consumers are surveyed, I study this stuff. I spend hours Googling and researching and looking at trends and understanding market maturity and looking at what's happening in the markets and understanding what is driving the mentality of people. It's how we even came up with our trust building offer, and it's how we came up with this concept that we're teaching you. You are looking for an opportunity to take something that would have otherwise taken you up to a year, to do it immediately with zero friction, to change the dynamic of the relationship from this when you're talking to a prospect to this because now they're your customer and they're excited to hear from you. So when I describe the power and the potency of what we're talking about here, like I cannot put into words how this will disrupt your industry if you are the first person to market with this concept. I think some of the people that are here tonight actually have done this concept and they've been mind blown seeing it. So I have examples for formats on the screen here for you. And my favorite format is a membership. And the reason why I love a membership is it's a living, breathing opportunity to interact and deliver the most fresh, meaningful, purposeful, cutting edge content in your market. I also love it because it just runs all year long and you can have people reactivate into it. You can have people that complete your mastermind or your high ticket that roll into it. All of your current customers can add it on. Like many of our current customers and other product lines and other companies of ours add the virtual business school on. Everyone in your market can come into it. But that's my favorite. That may not be your preference. You may not enjoy that. You may not be interested in that format. So I want to give you a couple different ideas here that can be really helpful for you. So some of you have really well done courses. Okay. Now, I am not a fan and I do not recommend that a course be your trust builder for all of the obvious reasons that we've already spent 30 minutes talking about tonight. But if you have a really well done course, what I would recommend is that you take that really well done course and you add some type of implementation structure to that with some live components that you can deliver over a period of time so that the people who buy the course are beginning to now interface with either you or your team to build the relationship, to build the rapport, to get them into action, preferably with some implementation and co working sessions that help them to get a result quickly. Again, because the objective of the trust building offer is the way that you should think about your trust building offer is them getting a result is the gateway that opens the door to the next investment.
Mhm.
I'm going to say that again. The way you should think about your trust building offer is them getting a result is what opens the gateway for them to make the next investment. So, you selling them something passively, we know that over 80% of course buyers never take a single action. They don't complete the course, they don't take action on the course, and they don't get a result from the course. And I know
Mhm.
that all of you want to be world changers. You want to impact people and you want to make a difference. And if you want to be a world changer, you want to impact people and make a difference, you got to get them taking action, right? Information without activation is not going to create transformation. So that's at the heart of a trust building offer. Obviously, we've talked already about memberships. If you want to see a particularly well run membership that helps people get absolutely astounding results, Virtual Business School is the place to be. And I see that we have a lot of members here tonight of the Virtual Business School. If you're a member of the Virtual Business School, would you let the people that are here tonight know why they need to be a member of the Virtual Business School in the chat for me? I would so appreciate that. The next one is a done for you resource. So maybe your business or your business model is more around done for you products or services. So you can absolutely have that. But again, what you would want to do is you would want to build something on the front and on the back of that that is going to get them through completion and implementation and then invite them to take that next step, right?
Mhm.
Same thing with templates, tools, and interactive resources. You're going to add some type of interface. One-to-one. Okay, this is the easiest thing of all time. If you are someone that is here tonight, is there anyone here tonight that's a solopreneur that's like early stage, or maybe you're not early stage, maybe you've been in business for a while, but you're on your own and you're a solopreneur. Okay, let me tell you a secret. Want to know a secret? Everyone in the online space tells you that everything has to be big and scalable and lots of people and lots of team, and you have to have thousands of customers. There are so many quiet little $1 million businesses out there that is like one person and they charge a premium and they love their life. Okay. If you are a solopreneur, this one right here, this bullet, one-to-one in short form, for example, a 1 hour power hour. A 1 hour power hour is an incredible trust building offer. You don't need a funnel. You don't need a landing page. You don't need a sales page. You don't need any assets. You don't need any team members. You need nothing. You need nothing. But let me tell you how much easier it's going to be for you to sell a $50,000 coaching package. If someone can come and have a single session with you, get an immediate breakthrough, lay out a plan, and then you walk them through how you could coach them through implementing it and getting results. Boom. That is 1,000 times easier in this market than you saying, come sign up for my $50,000 coaching package. I promise you I'm different. I'm going to get you great results. Okay. No one wants to hear it. No one wants to hear it, but a trust building offer. So for us, even though Virtual Business School is our primary trust building offer, our secondary trust building offer, which you probably see us using all the time everywhere, is a power hour. And you can do power hours with different team members of ours at different levels at different price points. And again, what happens is people will come, they'll do a single power hour with us. They'll get the bundle for that. It comes with a client assessment, they get a bundle of trainings afterwards, and they have the call. And guess what? 99% of the time, what do you think that person is going to do? They are going to add on a coaching package. They're going to sign up for a program. They just need to have that little bit of comfort and that experience of you and the brand to know that they're safe, that they're in good hands, and that they're going to get a result working with you. Danielle?
Yeah, I think that goes back to really understanding the zeitgeist. People specifically in the online world, specifically with coaching, consulting, done for you services, they're jaded. They've likely invested in something that didn't go well, and everyone's telling them they're the best. Everyone's creating content that sounds smart. Everyone's out here like, we are the only place to go for such and such. And that just feels really empty in today's market. And if you don't understand that it's not a money thing, sometimes it's a money thing, but a lot of times it's not a money thing. It's a, I don't think you're for real thing. Then your quickest path to overcoming that is getting on a call that's paid so they're bought in, but offering like legit value that shows,
Yeah.
wow, okay, this person is different. They do understand nuance. They can take my special, unique problem and turn it into something else. So I think that when you understand that the market is skeptical, and they're skeptical for a reason. They're skeptical because a lot of people don't deliver on what they say they're going to do, and you have the ability to get them to a point where they can see that you are not like the market. Then that's a quick, easy win from there. And trying to do that from a couple social media posts is a really, really, really big challenge. Like it's
Mhm.
just too many people are doing it now. So when you shift your mindset out of, well, people should trust me because I have a pretty Instagram. No, it's not going to do it. And I love marketing and I love branding. And I'm the first one to say, go build your brand, but it's just not going to cut it anymore. Getting them into a paid offer where they see you can deliver is an entirely different level of trust.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I want to say to everyone, I saw a couple questions in the chat about pricing on that. So Ashlyn actually shared, I'm going to share that really quickly with you guys. She shared the link to give you an example. And that's why I said we have a primary and a secondary trust building offer, because a power hour is $997. Okay. So that is a bit of a higher ticket investment that someone is making for that one time solution. But again, in the context of what we do, because people are accustomed to buying 30,000, 50,000, $80,000 products for us, to our market in that company, that is a trust building offer. And so feel free to have more than one that serve different purposes and that you use in different ways. I'm just showing you guys this so that you can see an example. You can see how simple this is, but everyone here could have a very simple trust building offer. This is what it includes. Okay. And then people can sign up right on the page. There's a bunch of testimonials. Okay. And then if they want to upgrade to a package, they can. But these are different examples. And again, I think it's so important to build things that you love. I think it's so important to do work that you love. It's important to build a business that you're not trying to escape from, that you're not trying to get out of, but instead to build a business that you're excited to lean into. So I'm going to pause for a second. There's a couple more big topics that I still want to cover tonight. I do want to talk about the 7 most important decisions that you need to make. And if we have time, I want to talk about a founding members launch. If we don't have time, I will come back. We'll put another live on the calendar to talk about that. But before we do, we have a really awesome invitation for you guys, and it's a little bit different. Okay. So we heard from a bunch of you that have, heard this concept. We've been talking a lot about this concept in the market. We heard from a lot of you that you really wanted hands-on coaching to help you to construct your trust building offer, to price it, package it, position it, decide on your marketing strategy, really put together the components of it, work on the language around it, and that you wanted some hands on help to get this off the ground and really do it the right way from the beginning. Okay. So we heard you. And our number one thing is we want to listen to you. Okay. And so we put a date on the calendar at the end of this month. And some of you are already going to be a part of this. I see Kristen is here. I know Kristen is going to be a part of this already. We put some calendar at the end of this month. I'm looking right now. What's the date? It is May 28th. And it's with Danielle and I. And we're going to be live with you coaching. This is not a training session. This is a coaching day from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we are literally going to help you to construct, to design your trust building offer, to put together your price point, to put together your founding members launch, to go over how you're marketing it, to go over the strategy to your email list, the strategy for your social media. We are going to coach you through every element of taking this live and up to and including your upsell process. So Danielle, I'll turn it over to you. I know you've been having some amazing conversations with people about this, and we already have a bunch of spots that are accounted for, and we do have to cap the spots. I will say that just because we're going to be coaching live. It's not a training, it's an actual live coaching session. So Danielle, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Oh, you're on mute.
Of course I am. Would it really be a training if I didn't do
It
it
would not.
once? Okay, so to be honest, we didn't want to add something else to our calendar. This was not like in the plans. But what we were getting a lot of with virtual business school members, clients in our like 7-figure programs, and everything in between was they were like sort of hearing this idea, semi implementing, like not 100% sure on like, okay, how do I make this fit for my ideal client? How do I use what I have? How do I launch it? So they were getting the concept, and then they would come to us and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. And then they would start talking about it. And we'd be like, oh no, like, hang on, that's like missing some pieces. It's not exactly what you should do. And so we decided to open this up because we know that you in situations like this where you're kind of putting something together that's really supposed to feed your ecosystem, it has to be done really strategically. And this is different than what anyone else is teaching. And I know people out there sound like they know what they're saying about this, but we're teaching this so differently. And there's a lot of nuance to it when you go to put it in practice. So this session is designed to be you walking through your particular offer with both Kelly and I and leaving with not just the offer, but your plan to launch it, sell it, and build that upsell process. Like it's tangible tactical coaching for you. And so we offer this. You can do that. You can book a session with me for 1 hour for $1,000, or you can get both Kelly and I and do this and a group, which I think adds like a really cool dynamic because people ask questions you won't even think about asking. Like you won't realize, like, oh yeah, I should think about that. And so I think there's a lot of value in that group session, but you're still getting individual direct feedback. So that's what this is for. This is not more teaching and training. You're going to get the teaching and training that you need prior to it so you can listen to that, be ready to go. This is like direct, specific, individual feedback on your offer, on your strategy, on your launch, because we kept having people even like experience, like awesome, like really, really smart, amazing entrepreneurs coming back and just being like 1 or 2 degrees off. Like they were so close. We're like, okay, if you just do this, then you're golden. They changed it and they went and launched it and they sold 600 or 500 people in. So
Yeah.
what we want to do is offer you guys the opportunity to get on this session with us. We do have limited spaces. We're capping it. We've already sold some to current members. So this is not an open for everyone thing. We've talked about adding another session, but right now we are a little
Do
crazy
not put
with
another date on my calendar, Danielle Ceballos. We have 20
time.
spots left, guys. We can only have 25 people in this session. So if you want in, get
Yes.
your ticket tonight, reserve your seat, get it done. I'm about to leave for 4 trips back to back for
Yes,
the next 4
it's
weeks.
kind of
So
crazy up in
that
here.
is
We were
why
gonna do
it
it
is on the
earlier.
date that it is on.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So but to Danielle's point, a lot of people start making assumptions
Mhm.
about what they're going to sell. And it's based on what they want to sell. And it's not based on what the market's going to buy. And our job as your strategists, your mentors, your coaches is to protect you from yourself, to help you pick the right offer at the right price point that people want, need, and can afford, and position it in a way that they are going to buy. Okay. So when the spots are sold, the spots are sold. We may or may not open another session, but if we do, it's going to be pretty far out just because this is at the end of May. Okay. This is at the end of May already. Just because we have, I have 4 trips coming up. So we are looking forward to working with you all. If you have questions, you can post them in the chat now. If you have questions about how this could work for you or what this might look like for you, you can also obviously DM the team if you have questions for them. The link is there in the chat. So let me just open this up really quickly. I'm sorry. I'm going to open this up and see if I can show it to you guys here. I think it's 737, 747.
797. We're all a little off.
Hold on.
Somebody asked how much do we need to have prep before the day? So you don't need to have a lot prepped. You do want to have a general idea. Like you want to come to the table and say, hey, this is like my market. I've done some research. This is what I'm hearing. Like, this is what I think a good offer will be. But we will directly, if there is one thing we will do, we will be honest, direct, and be like, yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea. Let's talk about it. And we'll direct you in the right direction. So you do not have to come with something fully formed. Certainly, if you've been thinking about this, if you've been playing with this, if you've been like, you're already kind of tinkering with what yours might look like, you could certainly come and bring that, but you do not have to. You do have to understand what we're talking about. You do have to have an understanding of your market. That's what we're going to ask you about. Like, what are you hearing from the market? What are people saying the most? So you'll have to have information about what your people need. And then you have to kind of have an idea. Kelly went through today some of the options, like what sounds the best to you. If you're like, oh my gosh, I never want to do a membership, cool. Like you don't have to do a membership, but like what sort of feels like, ooh, that sounds good. I'd like to try that. So just some general information on that. And then you need to know what your market is really looking for right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what is included, again, this is happening on May 28th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. This is live with Danielle and I together. So we'll be tag teaming. I come from the strategy and sales side of things. She's going to come at it from the marketing strategy side of things, and we're going to work together to help you. What we're going to work on together is going to be a 4-hour live session, and we're going to be giving you direct feedback and coaching on what your offer should be based on asking you questions about your market, about your goals, about your avatar. We're going to help you with feedback on pricing, packaging, and positioning your offer. We will, of course, bring templates as we always do. So we will bring templates to help you with promoting your offer, with sending out DMs, with putting together emails, with posting and creating stories. So we will talk and give you templates and give you tools and resources on the session live to begin marketing it right away. By the time you're done this session, you should be ready to sell your offer that afternoon.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
afternoon. This is not something where you're going to leave this and then you're going to go work for weeks and weeks.
No.
You will have enough clarity by the time you leave the session to market it immediately and start getting paid to actually create this offer. And for those of you in virtual business school, you already have the trust building trainings, you already have the trust building workbooks, you already have a running head start. So for you, you might have your trust building offer kind of somewhat molded, but you need some refinement. You need something to help you with your sales or marketing strategy. Or maybe you already have the offer, but what you really need is how to sell it, how to market it, how to DM about it, how to email about it, how to position it in a way that's going to get responses. We can help you with structuring master classes if that's your core focus. If you already have kind of an idea of what you want the offer to be, but you need to structure a master class, you probably have noticed that we've been doing weekly master classes for virtual business school. We're going to continue to do that. That's performing and working really well right now. So that's going to be something that we're going to recommend for you. And it's so simple. It's so simple. It's so easy to do. It's something that anyone can do, even if you're a solopreneur. Okay. So you'll leave with a clear roadmap that is customized for you to launch your offer. Again, my recommendation is that you plan by the time you're done that session that you're going to be taking it live. And then most importantly, your upsell strategy. So we want to make sure that you are really building a trust building offer that is completely geared towards facilitating the upsells into your mid ticket and your high ticket offers. And we're going to go through a step-by-step process with you to help you to understand what that should look like on a monthly basis, rinse and repeat over and over again to make sure that people don't just collect in a pool in your trust builder, but that this is a living, breathing, active thing that is, in fact, helping people move through your ecosystem up to those next steps. Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I think this is the value here is, it's easy to get lost in your own kind of ecosystem and world and overthink things. And y'all, I only coach our 7+ figure entrepreneurs. That those are the only people I'm on calls with. And even they sometimes are like, oh yeah, like why didn't I think about that? And why didn't I do that? And we have had so many of those people who are crushing it in their, business. They come in, they've sold high ticket for years, and then they come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I could do this. They put something together in like a day and they sell hundreds of them. And we had people add 6 figures to their annual revenue just from putting something together because they've got pent up demand in their audience. So if you're someone who is experienced in business, you have a big list, you're really kind of sitting on an audience that hasn't been able to buy your high ticket offer, or maybe they're slow to buy your high ticket offer, this is the direct path for you. And the results for you are going to be so fast and so easy. And all you need to do is get on this like session with us, get that feedback that's very specific and direct and unique to you and your business, and you'll be off to the races. If you're new if you are new, what a blessing to learn the
Oh
right
my
way the
gosh.
first time so that you don't make all the mistakes and you don't try all the things and you don't make yourself crazy and you don't waste time and money building something you hate or that just won't work, because we will be honest with you. If we think it's not going to work, we're going to tell you that's
Yeah.
probably not a good idea. If you have a really small audience, I will be the first person to say you probably should not do a membership that's $27. So we have helped people build these in all different kinds of to be
Hmm.
fair, we built them in our companies. They're all different companies. We have a done for you
Hmm.
agency, we have a networking community,
Hmm.
we have our high ticket consulting. Like this is in all of out, like we have personally developed multiple models
Yeah.
of this, and we've helped clients with all different types of business models develop it for theirs. And just because we did a membership, just because Kelly loves a membership, does not mean it's the best
Mm-mm.
path for you. And we'll tell you that. We'll say,
Yeah.
hey, this is quicker cash for you. This is a much easier lift for you. So
100%.
the value of this, to be fair, if you were going to get 4 hours with Kelly and I, that would be like 35K.
Yeah.
So just know that that is what you're getting, the value of it. And again, it is coaching. It's not teaching more. The reason we did this, y'all, we teach our faces off all day long. All the time we're teaching all the things. There is a difference between teaching and coaching. And what we've seen is this is a new concept. It's not out in the world in the way that we've done it. And so there's just these tiny little
Yeah.
gaps that are the difference between five
It
sales and
is.
100 sales. They're
Yeah.
the difference between, $1,000 and $25,000 or $25,000 and $200,000. So those are the things that we're targeting when you're on this call with us. It's specific, direct coaching on your unique offer. So
Yeah.
the value of this is not so $30,000 to be with Kelly and I for that long. That's what, like, if you were paying, because we both have hourly rates, if you were
Yeah.
paying those, that's what it would be. This is crazy, crazy nutso to even just get in that room. And we
It
only have a few spots. So,
Yeah, it's true. And, Tara just posted in the chat. She said, when y'all helped us with our offer, we turned it around and we had a multi six-figure launch. And,
mhm.
that we've done that over and over and over again. It's what we do. And I think what is special is the fact that we have multiple companies, we have multiple business models, we have multiple delivery models, we have different teams that are selling different segments of the market. And we're not force feeding you a one size fits all blueprint. We're instead helping you to make sure that the thing that you're bringing to your market is unique, it's disruptive, it's innovative, and it's going to deliver, right? You have to be able to have a superior product. You have to help people to get a superior result. And you want people to want to be fans of the brand and customers for life because of this. Okay. So if you're here tonight, I just saw that comment in the chat. If you're here tonight and you want to join the Trust Building Intensive just to get feedback on another offer that you have, that's fine. I mean, the reason why we're limiting the size is so that every person gets ample time to
Mhm.
ask us specific and direct questions, to get specific, unique feedback, to get support. But I would say, yes, we will have time. Yes, you will get to talk. Yeah, that's a great question, Jen. Those are the
Yes.
right questions, and I understand why you're asking them. Yes. So that is why we're limiting the space, because we want you to be able, we need to ask you questions, essentially. We're going to ask you questions. You're going to give us answers. We're going to then ask you more questions. You're going to give us answers. And then we will work together to mold to get to the outcome that we need. And probably at some point, what we'll do is we'll do some breakout rooms too. We might have time where Danielle pulls some people into a room and I pull some people into a room, and then we come back together, or whatever the case. But yeah, those are exactly the right questions, Jen. And yes, that is why we're doing it. We want to make sure, don't worry. We will have ample
Yes.
time.
We have a history of 100 million hour coaching calls. Back in the day, I remember 3 hour copywriting calls, like going through, trust us, we got you. We've done this many, many times, and we really want to help people get these offers out into the world. We wholeheartedly believe this is sort of like Kelly started the top of this with saying, the way the live launch changed, just kind of how people sold in the
Yeah.
online space for an entire industry. we really believe this is what's going to be the difference between
Oh,
businesses that make it and businesses that don't. And we see them hanging on to these high ticket sales strategies that are not working, but they could be filling their high ticket offers if they were just doing this. Like it's not a you can make
that's
it
the thing,
happen.
right? That's exactly it. And it's very unfortunate because a lot of the people that are teaching business strategy actually have not operated in a down collapsing market before. I have. I actually built my career in Fortune 500 and really catapulted during the time that the market collapsed. And I led my team through a very innovative process where we basically turned our whole offer suite on its head, recreated a new type of solution, led the whole organization through implementing it. And, a lot of the people out there are still giving the advice that you just need to raise your price and that you'll have success. And unfortunately, that is so unbelievably dangerous in this market because I actually did the research on this. 55% 55% is the amount of income that the average business owner lost over the last 2 years. And if you look at employees with inflation and the fact that most employers have not been able to give raises because of the fact that businesses have slipped back so much, both employees and employers are taking home less money. You have to be smart. You can still, it's to Danielle's point, you can still achieve rapid high growth. We are currently at the highest customer count that we've ever had organizationally ever since I started in business in 2012. Right now, today, we are at the highest customer number we've ever been at. And it's possible to create hyper growth in this market, but you cannot be stubborn and say, I'm going to keep selling a model that no longer works. You have to be able to recreate the path. So you stay fixed on your goal, but you are flexible, adaptive, and innovative in how you get there. And to
Mhm.
Danielle's point, when I created the live launch method, I knew that the launch methods that were being taught were continuing to be of disservice to entrepreneurs like you all, and you were never going to have success with it, which is why I created that model. I believe that this is the most important thing that we have brought to the market since 7 years ago when we brought the live launch to the market. It will save businesses. And not only will it save businesses, but it will help many, many businesses to create the highest level of earnings, success, impact, and income that you have ever had before. And I will add to that, it's fun. It's fun. When you do it the right way, it's a lot of fun. So if you know you want to be there, definitely go ahead and click the link and get yourself registered tonight. If you have questions, reach out to the team. We try to keep the price very reasonable for you, under $1,000, $797, so that it was something reasonable that you can make a quick decision on, so that you can secure your spot. I don't know when or if we'll be able to do this again, and if we do, it'll be a little ways in the future. Okay, so if this is a concept that your business needs, and how do you know if your business needs this? Listen, if you are easily moving people into your offers every single day already, and your business is growing at the pace that you want it to be, you don't need a trust building offer. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm not here to tell you you need a trust building offer, regardless of what the situation is in your business. But if you have seen that it is too hard and too expensive and it's taking too long to acquire your ideal customers, then you do need a
Mhm.
trust building offer. And so it really just depends on whether or not you are looking at the growth of your business and recognizing either, yes, you're pacing at the growth rate that you want to be at, or no, you're not. And
Mhm.
this is applicable whether you are startup or whether you're already at 8 figures plus and beyond in your business. And
Mhm.
knowing when it's time to adapt is one of the most critical skills for you to develop as a CEO, to not be drug behind, but instead to figure out that the rules of the game have changed. And if you can get ahead of it, you can end up capitalizing on it and becoming the leader in your market. And that's exactly what's happening for us with Virtual Business School right now, because we started a year ahead of everyone else. We started really focusing on Virtual Business School a little over a year ago. And the time at which we started doing that, no one even understood at that time what was happening yet. And we were already like, oh no, like this is where this is going. We knew, we were like, we got to turn this ship because this economy is tanking. And a year from now, we knew that by this point that we're sitting here today, that it was not going to be viable to be selling high ticket direct to market cold to close anymore the way that we had been for years and years and years. Our entry point was $30,000. And so if you can be the person in your industry or your space that gets ahead of this, you have an incredible leadership opportunity, which is what we are in position to be and to do right now in our space. And you can be that and you can do that in your space as well. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you there. If you have questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. And this is what I'll say, because we're already past time. There's two big things I do want to cover. So I'm going to chat with Danielle after this and see when we can put another session on the calendar for you guys. Okay. Because I want to go through two more things with you. I want to talk about a founding members launch, and I want to talk about the seven most important decisions that you need to make about your trust building offer. So we will come back and have that conversation with you. But in the meantime, if you know you want to get this done, oh, we have bonuses.
We do. That's what I was going to say. We almost forgot.
Okay, hold on. Danielle, I'm turning it
We're
over to you.
rookies
I'm going to
over
share my
here.
screen. I'm going to share my
Yeah.
screen and I'm going to let Danielle. I forgot we had bonuses. Lucky you guys that
Actually, why
stayed
don't we
on.
do like we'll make the session where we go through the seven and the founding members launch, like the teaching on that. That'll be a bonus. Everybody who
Okay.
joins us gets to join us.
Oh,
That's a
okay. Let's
live
do it.
only. You've got to
I
join us
like
while
it.
we're live now, and you'll get a
Okay,
deep
cool.
dive training on that.
Great.
Because it's a lot. It is a lot to do. So that one, you got to be registered for the 28th, and we will walk you through the founding members launch and the seven things, and you will be completely ready. And then couple things that if you join us, what you've got now, if you join us live, which we probably should have told you earlier. So I'm going to give you till like 9 p.m. because we forgot the bonuses. So I will give you another like hour. Okay. So because we're going to get off in a few minutes and we should have told you these earlier. So if you buy within the next hour, you're going to get the small group coaching call with Kelly. Kelly, this is just a plain hot seat coaching session, right? This is
Yeah, you can use it for
ask you
anything. It
anything.
could
Yeah.
be team, infrastructure, sales, marketing, like literally it's ask me anything.
Yep. Okay. So you're going to get that live if you join us on the 28th within the next hour. You have to do that within the next hour. I'm giving you some grace. It was supposed to be a live only bonus, but we were kind of late to the game. And you're going to get that free deep dive training on the founding members launch and the seven things you need to get answered. Okay. So two bonuses that you get if you join within the next hour that you will not get later on. Okay. Second thing, I did it seems like a million hours, like a 4-hour deep dive training on writing conversion copy. And I think some people here were on it. They will say it was pretty amazing, changed their life. It's going to help you think about how you market in general, but specifically how you are speaking to the unique needs of your buyer. I'm going to give you that full 4-hour recording. People paid $500 for that. And you are going to get that. And the reason we're giving you this is because it's a huge part of how you're going to launch your offer. And we want you to have that complete training because it's so, so, so important to how you're going to get this out into the world. We're going to give you a strategic founding members launch plan. You also get to do that deep dive training with Kelly and I. So get in there. And then we're going to give you, we have some templates that we've created for trust building offers, some posts, some emails, things like that, that are going to help you get your offer out there, DMs, all of the things. So we're going to give you that bundle as well. And so what I would say is if you have some timing issues, just know if you can join us for an hour or two of the session, you're going to get so much out of it. And we'll make sure you get your coaching time in then. So if it's something like a scheduling thing, you only sneak away for an hour or two, totally fine. What we want you guys to know is that if you are experienced in business, you have an audience, you've been building for a long time, you've only sold high ticket like us for many years, and you are likely sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars because like us, if your lowest ticket offer was, 10,000 or more, you cut out 2/3 of your market just by definition. And they could potentially have taken a risk, taken the leap, but they just weren't brave enough to be like, okay, yeah, I have the trust And you creating this trust building offer is not only going to create massive revenue boost in your initial sale because you're sitting on this pent up audience, but it's going to help you get those people to a point of trust where it actually starts fueling your high ticket sales. And so if you are experienced, please do not think, oh, I don't need this. You are the most primed to make the most money from this. And we went through this with what, like 3 or 4 legacy leaders at our legacy leaders in-person meeting, and some of them have already launched and have hundreds of people signed up,
Yeah.
hundreds, like
Yeah.
many hundreds.
Yeah.
So it's definitely for you. If you're new, this is such an incredible way to start. Listen, if you're new, I'm not going to lie to you. If you're new starting a business in this kind of economy, it's rough. You need a good strategy. You need to know what you're doing. You need to have a really clear plan. We're going to give you that. So either way, and then of course, everyone in between, obviously you're on a spectrum of what you might need and don't need. I can't think of a time ever, Kelly, where someone has come to a session where we've coached them live and they've been like, dang, I wish I didn't do that.
No.
I can't think of a single time in the history where of us ever doing anything where people thought, man, that was a waste of my time. Every
Yeah.
single time we do it, people are like, oh, this was literally exactly what I needed. We have had countless members implement this strategy, make hundreds of sales. Like, y'all, I'm not exaggerating. They've made hundreds of sales. I was on a call with a past client that did 660 sales of their trust building offer. Like, this is nutso. And we know that you're kind of just sitting on this. And we
Yeah.
also know that it's new and it's not super easy. It feels clear cut, but it's not as clear cut as it might be. And we want to help you do that. So just a quick reminder, $797, you get the full session with us. If you join in the next hour, so I'm going to give you till 9 p.m., 9:15. You get the live coaching call with Kelly, and then you get that extra training that we're doing, the founding members launch and the 7 questions you need to answer. You get the copy code training, which again is worth $500 alone. Like literally, we sold it for that. So it's literally worth $500. It's probably worth more than that if you learn how to do it and you actually make money. But $500 is what it was actually sold for. You get the founding members launch plan, you get the trust building templates, all of that, plus the coaching. And you know what you really get? You get a trust building offer that you can literally sell the next day. Like, everyone can be selling. We're meeting on the 28th. Everyone can be selling on the 29th. Everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have people that literally went through these trainings with us that launched their trust building offer that are like, can I just do this now? And we're like, yeah. Like, once you start doing this, if you just want to do this because people are happy, they're getting results, you're making money, do it. Right. I know for us, we're eliminating some of our other offers and we're simplifying some of the other things that we're doing to really put just more emphasis on the virtual business school because our students are getting such good results. We're having so much fun doing it, and it's what the market needs, And yeah, it's just amazing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great adventure. I think that the precipice that is going to be explosive growth for everyone is going to be once you get your trust building offer working, you're scaling that, you're having hundreds of people join that, and then you combine that with live launching into your mid or high ticket. But now you're selling to your own people that know you, like you, trust you. You're going to be able to get results unlike anything that you've ever done before. So we're looking forward to working with all of you. We're looking forward to having you in. I did see a couple questions about a payment plan. So we can give you a 2-pay option. It has to be paid off before the day takes place. But if you're here tonight and you really want to be there and you need a 2-pay option, just reach out to the team and they can get you set up on a 2-pay. And as long as you get your 2 installments done before the 28th, we can accommodate that. Okay. So more to come. And, for all of our students that are in the virtual business school, I just want to remind you that you have a multi-part series in there on getting started with your trust building offers. So please make sure you've done them or refreshed on them. That's a great primer to get you ready to come into this day with us to absolutely get the max benefit and the biggest ROI. So we can't wait to see you there. Thank you for taking time with us tonight. I hope it feels crystal clear why you need a trust building offer, what makes a good trust building offer, what you need to be thinking about in making decisions about the pricing, the structure, and the way that you deliver it to the market. And I can't wait to see all of you thrive with this new strategy for the new era of business. And I look forward to seeing you in the Trust Building Intensive on May 28th. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.